Happy New Year 2022. Happy New Year 2022. 2021 and beyond, all gone. And this is the new year. What is this? January 2, January 3. It's bye-bye to the past. Hope for the best for the future. And whatever is today is today. My videos have been probably pessimistic. I talk about family dysfunction and toxicity. All the vloggers, they come on and talk about what they know. I know family toxicity and family dysfunction. That's what I know. And I kind of like getting on the vlog and dumping. So I had put out some videos in 2021 regarding toxicity and dysfunction in my family. I poured my guts out, dumping and pain and tears, and got all of that out my system. Felt better, because when it's in the system, it poisons, and it poisons the physical sphere, mental, emotional, spiritual, and your soul. Your soul feels broken, feels really broken. And then when you share how you're feeling, it lightens it. Somebody said shared pain is shared lessened. Well, because I shared it, I lessened the pain. Is it still there? Yeah. Is it going to go away? Probably not. I will probably die without resolving my broken soul and spirit as it relates to family toxicity and dysfunction. So you know what people normally do for the new year or around Christmas time or Kwanzaa time, those principles they talk about in Kwanzaa. Christmas being Jesus' birthday, the Lord's birthday. So the soul and the spirit, something comes in you, at least it does for me. December was always my favorite time of the year. I kid you not. 56 years young, but the majority of my Decembers have been beautiful. This December, no, Samantha. Not happening. You're gonna have a effed up December. And so my December was quite painful. And I try to cheer myself up by doing for others. I don't know where I got that from. That says, whatever you're going through, if you're still able to do for the next person, that might make you feel a little better or feel a little better. So that's what I did. My grandchildren, to the best of my ability, I looked out for them. They at the age where Christmas is toys and whatever, money or whatever. I want it to be about other things, like maybe understanding what Kwanzaa is all about, and maybe church on Christmas about Jesus the Lord, as opposed to white Santa Claus and toys. But it's okay, that's where the children are at. And if that brings joy to their heart, to the best of my ability, I sent out Christmas gifts to my children, which would include my 5 children that's biologically my husband's grandchildren. And I know joy is in their heart because I looked out. So that was making me feel better about the effed up December I believe I had for 2021. An 87-year-old cousin that I found out that her parents and my great-great-grandfather were siblings. I was like Alex Haley, I found you. There's some sites on the internet that's giving out free information. If you know the person's name, you type it in. If you know the city and state you believe they from, you type it in, and then information comes out free. And I wrote the letter probably October or November, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be nosy or anything, but my grandmother gave me some names back in 1990 when I bought my genealogy book, and I didn't know the answer to certain questions. She answered the questions, but then she kept shutting down, because it was getting painful the more you asked about her past. And Grandma was born like 50, 60 years after slavery ended, so it had to be traumatic, painful, harmful, hurtful. And she kept shutting down. Okay, Grandma, we'll try again. She shut down. Okay, Grandma. I said after 3 tries, for whatever reason, just stop the project. I stopped asking her about the ancestors. But something said, open up that genealogy book you first wrote information down in 1990. And I saw a name. And when I typed the name in the computer, other similar names in a similar city, in a similar state popped up. And they list an address. I wrote the address. I left my phone number. I checked my message on my phone maybe 2 weeks later. An old elderly woman. You can tell by the voicemail. She was elderly. And she said, I received this letter, and it was from Samantha Farmer, and please call me. This is my number, and thank you. I called the number, and she verified certain things, and I was like Alex Haley, I found you. Remember the last episode of Roots? When Alex Haley was sitting on the grass under the tree, and the griot African brother whose job in the village was to remember all of the history of the village. And Alex was like, no, just get to Kunta Kinte. He says it doesn't work like that. The translator was like, it doesn't work like that, Alex. He has to do it chronologically. Alex so frustrated because the work is hard, the work is difficult. It wasn't even internet and World Wide Web and Skype and none of those type of things was available to Alex Haley, so he had to do these things. He had to do these things the harder way, looking in libraries and whatever. But y'all know the root story. And instead of the griot saying it was Friday, June 28th, 1621 or whatever, Africans are so beautiful. We are so beautiful as a people. Homeboy said it was 3 rains later. That's how they record incidents or whatever. If there was no rain in the sky for 12 days and then rain fell the 13th day, they would say the 13th rain came down and the 18th rain, and Alex was like, Alex sat there under the tree. Oh my God. Alex Haley sat under the tree. He said, I'm going to take a nap because I can't. Like, I appreciate what he's doing, but I got to lay down. But you know how you take that sleep, and when you take that sleep, you're not in a coma. You're like in a twilight. You can hear even though you're asleep. That was the type of nap Alex took. And the griot just kept going and kept going and kept going. And then he said something about, and he went to get a birthday present or a gift for his brother and his mom. And he looked for materials to make a drum. And when he went out there and then he never returned, the 2 Bob got. And that's some things that Alex was remembering from the stories that went down from generation to generation. And that twilight got him all alert, and he woke up and he's like, wait, go back, what? And then the translator told the griot to go back, and he went back. And then he went to get the gift for the drum for his brother, his mom, because he's a man now, and he had to do this because it was hard for them to let him go as a bigger brother, as a son, even though they know that's the path to manhood. And Alex said, and what was his name? And he named him Kunta Kinte. Kunta Kinte. Alex said, I found you. You know, when you get on these vlogs, you gotta look presentable. I got Aunt Bunny mustache, and look at my skin. My skin is horrible. Look at my skin. But you know what? It's a lot of work. I'm no excuse, but I'm not hiding. The largest organ of the body is the skin. Ask anybody who studies medical. The largest organ, not the liver, not the kidney, not the brain. Your skin is the largest organ of the body. And my skin has been through the ringer in the environment, in the atmosphere, in the polluted United Snakes of America. And this is the result. I got blotches, discolorations, and I be trying to cover it up, and everything I use is not working. And the doctor said, Miss Farmer, this ain't nothing but a fungus. A fungus is a plant, Miss Farmer. I thought fungus was a bad word. But it's a plant. And your skin serves as the soil. And the fungus loves your skin because it loves your soil. And it's not going nowhere. Every time you water it, It grows. Every time you give it sun, it grows. The same thing all the other plants do. When you give it wind and air, it hydrates. And this is why the fungus is not trying to leave. And to me, it looks unattractive. I look at other people's skin and I'm like, wow. I don't like the summertime because look at this shirt. Look at this shirt. Y'all will see all of this. And other people will wear a similar shirt and their skin is flawless. Here come the hateration and the enviation in my spirit. My broken spirit. My broken soul. Mad because you got beautiful skin and mine's is jacked up. Don't do no vlog and your skin is all like that. You got people in the industry, they covering all that stuff up to make themselves look good. I am who I am. This is it. I'm clean. I just got these blotches and my skin stays very dry. Very, very dry. But if it's helping the fungus, I guess. Look at my plants. I love my plants. See my plants. The soil they're in is doing right by them. The air and sun and wind they get is doing right by them. So I serve the purpose for this particular fungus. So, but anyway, getting back to Alex. He said, I found you, I found you, I found you. He was so elated. And when that 87-year-old cousin of mine's told me, because grandma kept shutting down, she wouldn't give me the rest of the information. But grandma gave me a name of her father, my great-grandfather, his mother and father's name, and a cousin that she used to play with. I remembered those names because I wrote it down in the genealogy book. That's as furthest I can go. This 87-year-old lady told me, your grandmother's father and my daddy were brothers. I said, I found you. I found you. I didn't say that to her while she's talking on the phone. I got that Alex Haley feeling. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. You do not know where you are going unless you know from whence you came. So, that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Anyhow, we exchanged numbers. You know, I don't put a lot of time on her. Is it all right if I call you once in a while just to say hi? She said, yes, no problem. But I still don't want to call regularly. Okay, why did I bring that up? And then start this video about family toxicity and dysfunction. A cousin, I decided in 2021, not to speak because there was something going on. If you saw my other videos about some other family members that was so toxic and dysfunctional, there was a case in the courthouse. The government and those toxic, dysfunctional individuals was aiding and abetting and trying to deal with me and the United Snakes of America governmental, jurisdictional way. And I had a problem with that. But anyway, this particular cousin, we was cordial to each other. We was speaking. I don't have no proof, but I like to think I know my family. This cousin was playing both sides of the fence, or she was being mutual. At the same time, she's counseling me or talking to me or whatever. At the same time, she's counseling to the other side and trying to be the mediator. But at the same time, her spirit and soul is broke like the rest of the family members' spirit and soul is broke. And I just felt she was playing two sides of the fence. And she was calling me and then leaving text message. I said, let me reply. I didn't talk, but the gist of my text was like, you know what, for health and sanity reasons, for me, I have to not even speak to you anymore. I had just resumed conversation with her after about 8, 9, 10 years of not speaking with her. But those 8, 9, and 10 years, she was reaching out, trying to make amends. I caved in, and, I made amends. We tried to work out what was the reason 10 years plus ago that we wasn't speaking. And after resuming relations as cousins, after you paid me the debt, the monies I loaned you, which I'm in dispute as to the amount. I said it was one amount, but the debt was so long ago, I can't even remember. And when she gave me the money, I said, no, you owe me this. She said, no, I owe you this. 2 different amounts. Some money is better than no money. And because it was so long ago, I can't prove it. But if you loan somebody 1,000, and I'm not saying it was 1,000 with her, but in general, I just throw $1,000 out there. If you loan somebody $1,000, and a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, they never pay you back the 1,000, and those months turn into years, and they ain't pay you no 1,000, and after a while, 10 years go by, and this person have never paid you back your $1,000. So you said, you know what? Fuck them. You can't figure out how to pay me back my money. Years and years go by. You want to get it off your chest. Here you go with your whatever. That bitch owe me $1,000. You tell whoever want to hear it. They owed me $1,000 and they ain't trying to pay me. You tell everybody. You tell everybody that they owe you $1,000. And then it gets to everybody else. Samantha tight. You ain't never give her back her $1,000. Then you hear through the grapevine, oh, she wanted to pay you. Oh, she trying to pay you. And then when y'all finally speak, and why do y'all speak? The elders in the family dropping like flies, dying back to back, year after year. We losing all of the elders. They ancestors, granddaddy, grandma, aunties, your mother, my mother. So you say, Samantha, lighten up. You keep hearing, it's not forgiveness for them, it's forgiveness for you. You hear all of that. So you say, okay. You cave in. You don't bring up the 1,000. You hear them making the amends. I got you. go to Western Union. And then when you go to the Western Union, thank you so much. I'm glad we can work this out. Thank you. And you probably financially depressed anyway, and you can use that 1,000. And then you go down to the Western Union, and when you get to the Western Union, and the lady behind the glass says, "Well, how much are you expecting?" I said, the person owes me this money. They did not tell me how much. They just said, go to Western Union and get it. So if they owe this to me and they trying to rectify the problem, $1,000 is what I'm expecting. And the lady saying, it's not 1,000 here. You have to give me the correct amount. I'm like, miss, I don't know the amount. This is a relative. I know I loaned the relative $1,000. They told me go downstairs. I don't know what they sent, but now I'm mad because instead of saying, Samantha, I don't have 1,000, I got 6. And the lady just gives me the money and it's not 1,000. And now I'm tight. I get the money, thank you. I go upstairs, I call the cousin. Yo, cuz, the amount is not what I loaned you a decade plus ago. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. For all of that time, I've been saying to myself and to others that was willing to listen to the nonsense, this person, this cousin owes me X amount. Why all of a sudden it changed? Is that dysfunction and toxicity? I'm going to give her this and say that's what it was. It happened a long time ago. If she argue with me, I'm going to argue with her back. This all she getting. Is that toxicity and dysfunction? Or is it that that person asked for that amount and you said, I don't have that amount, but I have this amount and I can send you this? Is that what happened? I don't know. The shit happened so fucking long ago. I can't even tell you. But for some reason, that figure is in my head. Okay. I left that alone. I took the some money is better than no money. I was still being cordial, still being involved with you, still talking nice and everything. But because you're playing two sides of the fence with the other relatives and our shared family that's highly toxic and highly dysfunctional and who have went to the government to deal with me, you're playing both sides of the fence. I know you playing both sides of the fence. I know you're playing both sides of the fence. So all I do, after ignoring your calls and your texts, I text you back and I say, you know what, for my sanity and my health reasons. My sanity and my health reasons. I love you, but I can't. The talks on the phone, the texts, I got to love you from a distance. She didn't take that well in 2021. So December 2021 comes, like I said, it's usually a very good time of the year for me, but I went through some pain in December. And I said the only way I can feel a little bit better about all this pain I'm feeling, try to do something nice for your loved ones. I looked out for the grandchildren. I bought a gift for my 87-year-old newly found cousin. And this other cousin that I still say partially paid me. When we was talking, we talked about a genealogy book. And I found a 383-something page book called The Story of a Lifetime. Look it up on Google. It's a beautiful gift. The Story of a Lifetime. It's about 383 pages. You can have inscribed on the front of the book the person's name. I put my cousin's name on the front of the book. The 383 pages, when you answer every question in that 383 page book, you have completed your memoir. Not only do you complete your memoir, there's pages in there that ask you to list your name, your spouse's name, your children's name, your grandchildren's name, your parents' name, your grandparents' names, date of births, date of deaths, all of that. And other people trying to get books published and trying to write their stories. This book cost me $79.99 plus shipping and handling. Under $100 if you want to self-publish your life story. So I bought the book, and it's therapeutic for me. I die, and loved ones gonna look it up, and they might not, husband might not like what was said, kids might not like what was said, cousins, siblings. That's my truth. Don't try to sabotage the book after I'm gone. That's my truth. Because you get to tell your story. You get to tell your story. You don't let nobody else tell your story. You don't let nobody else tell your story. They'll tell your story. They twist everything around. The recorded records will be twisted around. And then generations later, they be like, wow, Samantha was like that? Wow. That's messed up. And that might not be true, what was said. So you get to see in my own handwriting, good, bad, and indifferent. And because you write it, you can blow it up. You can exaggerate it. I'm trying not to do that in my book. I'm trying to do it authentically as possible. But this cousin, I sent her the book, the same book. It's the new year. I'm trying to finish it by December 2022. It's 383 pages, and just like my grandmother, I was shutting certain things down. Certain questions they was asking me, I was shutting it down. I said I'll get back to it. Now I see why grandma was shutting things down. They seem